underwriting, you can see that part. Okay, so let's see this one here. So are you guys clicking into file folder 9?
Yeah, I'm in there.
Holler out if you don't have it. Okay. And so, you know, notice the numbering system. I think when you're setting up your folders, do some kind of numbering system like this. And if I can push you into mine for the moment, I will. And then you're always welcome to start to implement your own based upon your needs. I like this sort of base underwriting template at 0, 0. I like the OM at 0, 1, the T12 at 0, 2, and the rent roll at 0, 3. And then from there, it's kind of a free-for-all. I don't have too many needs after that because those are the 4 documents I want to see all the time. And if you're calling somebody or sharing your folder with them or whatever it is you're doing, you can say open file 2 and everybody can open it more quickly, right? So I like that kind of system. So there's a Darnell, a Darnell template, a Charmaine, a Max, and a Tyler. We each made a copy of the template. Did anybody go ahead and fill that out or start to fill it out?
I was doing that.
Well, mine's is completed too.
Yeah, yours is the base one down there, I think, David, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what now that we're on this property, what I couldn't wrap my head around is it seemed like a great deal. I mean, they gotta be missing some numbers here. You know, I mean, the deal kind of seems too good to be true. Based on the
well, I think your and my discussion on that, David, goes back to this idea of what is the underwriter comfortable. Once you have the data in there, now it's down to what is the underwriter / investors willing to accept as the assumptions of the underwriting. And those are the big things, like how much can we raise rent? How much is rent going to grow in the next year or two? You know, how much do we get for the rehab units? And now you're kind of into what are you willing to say? If you're willing to say those higher numbers like we did, it looked great. But I don't know. And right now, investors seem on fire to invest in anything you can show them, you know? But that's always come to an end at some point, and you don't want to be that in the game of musical chairs. You don't want to be the person without the chair.
Sure.
When the music stops, right? I think that's a far more advanced question you're asking. Roll back to Charmaine or Darnell or Tyler. Did any of you get to, for example, cut and paste the T12 in and start to code it?
Yeah, I have mine coded, but it does not show up at all on the main page, which is really weird.
Yeah, so what I had to do was just manually put mine in.
Okay, interesting. So let's go to Tyler's first. Tyler, you want to share your screen or you want us to open up into your template?
Probably easiest just to open up into the template.
Okay. So everybody open up number 8.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to click on prop 1 first. That'll be my first stop. Okay, so I don't see anything on prop 1. Now I'm going to look at your T12 tab. So prop 1-T12.
Wait, I
How you doing, Charmaine? Where?
on Tyler, I didn't see him under 8.
Look at my screen really quickly. Can you see my shared screen? Is it shared? Yes, it's shared.
Oh, no, don't worry. I got it. I got it.
Cool. You got it too, Darnell?
Yeah, I have it.
Nice. Okay. And so as I'm looking at this, it looks like, Tyler, you went ahead, you pasted in the T12. But what is happening is the spreadsheet is not reading these values as numbers.
Yes, they got to change
And
the
so
formula.
you got to change the format up here. See this format one? And I'm sharing screen here. I don't know if you're looking at that, but my screen's shared. If you click format, there's this number right here, and we can switch this to number. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead.
One of the drawbacks on working on the iPad, they default you to the Google Sheets app, and the app does not have any of those file, edit, view, insert, format, all that. So, technical difficulty there. But I suppose that would make the difference, though.
I think that's it. Yeah. And you've got that iPad because you're traveling, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. So first of all, I'm hiding some of these cells only because it helps my brain start to think, and it makes it easier when you zoom up and down. It kind of locks everything in. I would highlight to rectify the situation. I would highlight, everything with a number in it. And I would 5 steps here. Here are the 5 steps. 1, clear formatting. And that's under the menu format, clear formatting.
Okay.
That's going to remove all the shading, the lines, and put it all back to, I think, an Arial font at 8 point or whatever it is. I forget. Let's do it. So clear formatting. So that cleans up everything significantly. Now, the other things I want to do is I do want to make sure the numbers are in that format of number, but I don't want to do that yet because I still have the months highlighted up here. So I like these 3 keys here, these horizontal alignment, vertical alignment, and wrap, text wrapping. And so I like to center everything in their cells. That helps my brain kind of see it easier. I like to center everything in the middle of the cells so nothing's at the top or bottom. That helps my brain. And I like to wrap it. If there's extra text in there, I like to show up and wrap around like it's a paragraph in a Word document.
So,
and so go ahead.
Sorry, so as you're talking, I'm trying to write down the steps. You said there was 5 steps total. We started with clear formatting. Second is?
Second is these 3, whatever they're called, up in the menu here. Horizontal align.
3 lines.
Okay.
Vertical align.
Okay.
Okay. And text wrapping.
Text wrapping.
Yeah.
And then that last is centering.
Yeah, let's see here. Well, those were those 3. And so the horizontal align centers left and right. The vertical align centers up and down. And then the text wrapping just flows. So that's 3 of them right there. And then you got the clear formatting was the first one. So we're up to 4 now. Does that make sense?
Yep, I'm with you.
Then I want to go back and highlight just the number values, leave the months of the year out. And now I want to do format, number, and I want to turn it into a number. So turn it into a number here. Then it also drops in decimals. See how it's got everything to the penny? I don't want to know pennies. I just want to know nearest dollars. And so I'm going to take out 2 decimal places. So that's my 5th item.
I got a question, Max.
Go ahead.
Why not keep the pennies in there? Because wouldn't it be more precise?
Well, so the spreadsheet keeping the pennies in there, and it will calculate them. It just won't show them to you, and it's going to round to the nearest dollar based upon the pennies. So they're in there. It's not, you're not losing the data. It's just not showing it.
Okay. So you're just doing that to make it better on the eyes.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. My brain starts to be able to see easier. 66,000 a month, right? And I'm even thinking I'll round that up to 7 times 12. This should be 140,000. All right, 928. So some of it's going up higher, right? So my brain's always trying to simplify it back to calculations I can try to duplicate in my head, which for me has got to be simple. I just don't like doing a lot of calculations in my head. I use a calculator almost always. When I went to engineering school, the very first thing I did was buy an HP 12C. You know, I bought a calculator. So I'm going to go back to prop now. And when I go back to prop, the numbers still aren't filling in. So I've experienced this too. And actually somebody could explain it better to me. But if you copy and paste this totals column over here, it will often negate the number sequence. So what I would do is come back to this totals, Tyler, and instead of copying it, I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to come back to totals over here, and I'm going to paste it. Did that solve it?
Not on my end.
I got some numbers. I see expenses now. Were the expenses there before? I got expenses.
Oh, yeah.
I think that solved it. Now let's look at the actual coding. Let's see what we got for GPR here. Adjusted totals, commas, gross scheduled rent. I don't think I would call that. I think the way that you have to start with your highest rental amount is gross potential rent on this template. So change that. Let's see. Let's change this to GPR.
Even if the way that they have put it in their spreadsheet is not reflective of gross potential, because wouldn't gross potential like allude to them calculating based off of market rent?
Yes. And so to answer your question, what's happening is this spreadsheet starts back at GPR, gross potential. Right. So in this case, there is no loss to lease. So it's going to be 0. And so your gross potential and your gross scheduled will end up exactly the same.
Okay.
It's just a trick of the template so that the template is ready if and when you do have a GPR.
So that works.
Yeah, that worked.
And so notice they're giving us very little information about income. We really only have one number. Right. It goes in as the GPR. There is no loss to lease. And that tells us right away that giving us gross scheduled rent, because everything's got a loss to lease. No matter where you are, where you're from, there's always a loss to lease. So gross scheduled rent comes in right. We don't know anything about concessions or allowances or bad debt. So that goes in the total.
Lease, do you put in your figure then?
Yeah, I would, as a buyer, start to get suspicious if a place doesn't tell me their vacancy and they only give me their rent that they're making. Now, maybe their vacancy is baked into that number. So maybe I do go back and zero all these out, to be fair, right? But that sort of gets into the, you know, the judgment. First, I think you're trying to fill in the numbers, and then you're trying to enhance your judgment on the issue. Let's put in, what's the date today? I think if you double click on date, you can click on the date, it drops it in. What's the name of this property?
It's called the Schroeder Apartments.
SCHROEDER, I think. The Schroeder. And now I would want to go back to my file folder here and open up that flyer, right? Because there's 3 pieces of information I need from the flyer right up front. And those are at the top of that Prop 1 tab. How about all the steps we did so far, Tyler, with cleaning up what you cut and paste? Does all that resonate with you?
Yeah, thank you.
And I think exactly what you guys are trying to do is give yourself homework of going back, and if you need to copy and paste a new template for yourself, just leave your old one in there, copy and paste a new one in, name it the same number of years and put an A on it or something, or a B, so you know it's a consecutive one, and start over again. Try to cut and paste again. Try to go through the sequence of the 5 things to clean it up. Try to code it again. Make sure it's feeding in, right? And try to, you don't need to go to a new property every week until you get this down. So I'm looking for 97 units, $10 million, and 75,919 square feet. Those are the 3 pieces of information I really need to know. So I'm going back to the template.
Yeah.
And now remind me, I forget exactly what I said. 73 units.
Yes. Price per square feet.
75,919.
Correct.
Okay, got it. And I might have to click back and forth here a few times, you know, to get it. Oh, 97. I'm sorry, my brain will start to transpose things.
97 units.
Got it. Now, if even given the expenses that are in there right now, we can start to come over here to the pricing tool. If they're telling us $10 million at the seller's expenses, and I'm assuming most of those are right for the moment, let's just assume they're right for the moment. To hit $10 million, this looks like a 6 cap maybe? Oh, even better. This looks like maybe a 7 cap.
This says 7
There you go.
cap. Yes.
Yeah, right in there, right? So that's 101. And if we came back and said we do an asking price here, let's type in 10 million. It'll start to tell me how much exactly per unit to hit their 10 million. That's right here. 103,093. 103,093 certainly doesn't sound. Got it. And so now that's my $10 million price in. I'm off by $21, but that's fine. Rounding error. So the one thing we didn't do, Tyler, did we do a 3-month income back here?
No.
3 months
So
income where?
you guys click back and watch my screen for this.
Okay. This rabbit will never stop.
Right here, everybody ready? Right here at the top in D4, I'm going to come over here to the formulas or functions button.
Yeah.
I'm going to click sum, the top one, the one you're going to use the most for everything. In fact, all these, average, count, max, I don't know about max and min. Average I use a lot, but sum is your #1 function. Click sum. It gives you the formula for a sum, and it wants the last 1, 2, 3 months. 1, 2, 3. I scroll across those, and it drops them in. That's a range. And now all I do is click enter. This is the last 3 months. So I come over here to the coding, and I bring up 3 months income. 3 months, last 3 months of income. That's the one thing, Tyler, you didn't do yet that you're doing now, because now we're clicking back to Prop 1 tab, and that's showing up in here in the O column, 260,000 last 3 months. Notice the income bump. They're taking in 928,000. We think, based upon last 3 months of income, that should be closer to $1,250,000. Now we have in here that we're going to raise rents 180 per unit. Is that accurate?
I think so. Yes.
All right. I mean, in this day and age, that could be low.
Oh, okay.
Man, that some of the properties they're raising rents, you know, it's a $600 or $700 a month unit, and they're raising it $500. And David was speaking to this just a couple weeks ago, where David's talking about his fourplexes that's going up. I think those are almost your numbers, David. You're at 800, and you're raising them 500 each.
Well, no. So I have some. Well, I had some units that were at 550 when I bought them, and now they're at 800. And then now I got somebody moving out at the end of. Actually, it'll be out on the 15th of this month. So we're gonna clean it up, get it ready for the first. And he was at 700,
It's
and now he's gonna be at. We're gonna rent it for 9, and that's low.
nice.
That's just us trying to just hurry up, put somebody in there because we could probably get 11 for it.
Wow. I mean, it's amazing right now. It's inflationary
Yeah.
period for prices of multifamilies and rents at multifamilies. It's insane. It's like gas, only it's coming to your pocket instead of Chevron's. So that's fantastic. So right now we're up to 5.9 cash on cash. You know, not too great. We're up to 4.8 cap rate, just looking down below. But we've got some serious expenses in here. Do you think our taxes are right, David? Where are we?
I'm not sure.
Where are the Schroeder apartments?
I don't think they had the taxes in there.
Yeah. What? Oh, Houston, Texas. So that's probably not that far off. It's 100% at 2.5. Those are Texas. Those could easily be Texas taxes. So let's guess at that. Their insurance is really expensive at 541. I would match that. And now we're breaking formulas, by the way. See how there's starter formulas in these cells? We're now breaking them. So you're not going to copy and paste this template anymore for other properties. This one's going to be spent on this property. You're going to go get a fresh copy and copy that into the folder to use again. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Payroll, let's match theirs. Let's assume we're hiring the same company or whatever, right? But remember, if you hire theirs, then you're probably getting what they get. So let's do that. Repairs and maintenance, I find it hard to believe it's only 160. Let's do that. Now their general and admin, notice they've zeroed out make readies, but they've gone 642 on general and admin. So they're just moving theirs. I'm just going to copy theirs for now. They've got 0 management fee. I find that hard to believe. You got to pay somebody unless we're moving there and living in one of the units ourselves. Utility expense 602. I'm okay with that. Marketing's got to be $100. Throw that in there. And contract services, they've got 179. That's probably a little light, but let's just match theirs for argument's sake. So cap rate's up to 8. Cash on cash is up to 8.8%. Okay, so I think we should stop here, because that's far enough in. I think you've got some choices now. Do you want right here and now to try to copy and paste in the T12 again and sort of do it for yourself right now? Tyler, and did I lose Charmaine? Are you still here, Charmaine? Maybe I can't see. Change layout. Let me get more photos on my screen. I think I might have dropped Charmaine. I'm sorry, Charmaine. Darnell and Tyler, do you want to try and cut and paste it right now?
Yeah, I can do that.
Does one of you want to share your screen as you do it? And I apologize. It's like my students. I'm waiting for someone to jump up and say me, and so I just asked that question. I don't know if that's the right way to go about this, but
I can.
you want to, Darnell? Okay, share your screen. go back out to the file folder. Click on the tab over there. Yeah, do this. And, okay, nice. Yes, right click on that. Say make a copy. This is our generic, you know, virgin template, so to speak, unused template, right? So we know all the links are still a hole on those. Where to go? Oh, copy of a copy. Right click on it again. Wait, go back. Right click, clean it up a little. Right click on it and say rename. I want you to call it, get rid of the copy of copies and the 00. Call it 04A. Yeah, get rid of that stuff. Yeah, get rid of all that and just type 04 capital A. Perfect. Say okay. So what this does, Darnell, it puts it right under yours in the alpha order. Oh, actually, you and Charmaine both have 04. All right, it's close. Now, let's see here. There it is. Let's see. Is it open yet? It's not open yet. So open that one. Okay, good. While that's opening, Darnell, go back to the file folder.
I'm sorry.
Did we drop you, Charmaine? Are you back?
Yes. I was
Nice.
dropped.
Nice. Darnell, open the T12. All right, Darnell's taking a run at cut and pasting. All right, show us where you'd start your paste from. So let me stop you there, Darnell. I'd like you to go one row lower.
One
Go
row
back
lower.
lower. Start again and go on A6.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Good, good. Charmaine, you see right where he's copying and pasting it? That's the right place. You want to copy starting, and you didn't get low enough yet. Hang on, go back and do it again. You missed the bottom row. Start there. Oh, and Darnell, yeah, you can drag it like that, but you can also click and do the shift click is another way that might work, but we'll talk about that later. Nope, you missed it again. It went up. Right as you let go, it jumped up.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And if you're on iPad, this has got to be. There you go. Now, no, it went up again. Yeah, I don't know why. Sorry. There, thank you. Go a little bit lower. Now let go. All right, get the whole thing. Good, you got it. Okay, now copy. Right click, copy. Back to that one we opened, 04A. T12, beautiful. See your paste point, perfect. Right click. Yeah, I just do paste. Now, before you unhighlight it, don't click anywhere yet because you can do your 5 steps starting right now. In other words, you see what a pain it is to re-highlight it, right? So just keep it highlighted. Go up to Format. All the way to the bottom. Careful. There you go. Careful. Good. Yep. All the way to the bottom. Clear formatting. Good. Click. Good. Beautiful. All right. Now we go over to the 3 things. Don't click anywhere because we want it to remain highlighted. Go up to the 3 things. Up a little bit higher. Up to the menu. Up to the menu. Up. Higher. It's over to the right. Over. Yes. A little bit to the left. No, you just were over there. Nope. Back to the left. It's the centering. I want to push your hand. Yeah. Right to there. Yes. I'm so sorry. If I could describe it better, you could get there quicker. All right. So, yep, center it. Good. And now right up above mouses, go to the right again. The next one, go up again to that same menu. The next one over. Yeah. Click. The middle one. Nope, the middle one. Yep. Click. Good. Next one, go right up above again. Next one in line. Yep, click. Middle one, that's the wrap. Go up, there you go, click. Yes, sir. Okay, so now we've done 4 of the 5 things, just like that. Look how fast we did it. So you can imagine if you can cut and paste this quickly, how quickly run through this. Let's do the last step. You do need to re-highlight it. Click E2. We don't want the dates highlighted here because that'll mess up the dates. We want to keep those month names in there. And then highlight it down to the bottom right again.
To the bottom right.
Yeah, the 685,000 down there. There you go. Nice. I like what you've done. Go up to format. Okay, down to number. Up, 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 up.
Oh.
Yep, yes, sir. Slide to the right. Good. Slide down to number. Yes. Click. Good. And I guess we probably shouldn't have. I should have directed you not to highlight the column E, but it looks like it didn't affect anything, so it looks fine for now. And now get rid of the decimals. So go up to the reduce decimals. Go back up to the menu again where we were and slide to the left. More. Keep going. Keep going. More. One more to the, there, twice. Yeah. One. Yep, go back on it. Nope, that's too far. There. Click once. Did you see we lost 1 decimal place? Click again. Did you see we lost the 2nd decimal place? So now they're all rounded to the nearest dollar. This looks beautiful now, right? The only thing you didn't do is cut off the spreadsheet by hiding those columns and rows to the right and below it. But let's ignore that for the moment because I don't know how to describe it to you. Okay, so let's ignore that for the moment. Now I want you to go over and copy or cut the totals column. Good. Right click and cut. Good. Go back over to column D and go right on the totals because we're going to, nope, up to the totals because we've got our own word totals. Yeah, perfect. Because we want it that same height. So we start on that row, paste. Beautiful. All right. You're ready to start coding. Go ahead. Column A. Good. And I don't like click. I don't know how you guys do it. Do you sort through them like that? Maybe you do it this way if you don't know what the different categories are. But if you know it's GPR, it's faster to not click on the down arrow, but to just start typing GPR into that cell and it'll find it for you.
Oh, okay.
If that makes any sense. Go to the next one and click it. Yeah, right where you are. Click. Now, I want you to start typing. Can you type? I want you to put utility. Good. And see how you got rubs? Not expense, rubs. There you go. Perfect. So for me, that's faster than looking through the list. But if you don't know what's on the list, it doesn't make much sense. So, okay, do your next one, total income. No, I think that's EGI at this point.
EGI.
Yeah, backspace a little and it'll bring it back up. Or delete it out and start to retype it so you can bring up total income in. This is a little bit, you know, when you're doing these, the incomes can be, I think, there you go, effective gross income. So total effective gross income is what that number is for this spreadsheet. All right, keep going. What do you think it is? What's your guess?
I was going to say contract services, but it says payroll contract labor.
Yeah, I'd put it in payroll. It looks pretty big. So I'd do payroll.
Yeah, the contract laborers are separate.
Nice. So these all look like electric, gas, telephone, water. They all look like utilities.
Yeah.
There you go. And now these are expenses. Good. Now, if you know that 4 of them in a row, you don't have to do that every time. See the square on your utility expense, blue, blue? Grab that square, drag it down. 1, 2, 3. Good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think trash removal is
Contract services.
trash remover's contract? Okay, got it.
Yes.
So the next 3 of them are contract. There you go. And the template lets you define it more specifically, but I would keep it all generic unless you need to. Yeah, drag that down. You didn't label the water. Drag down, or you don't have to retype it, just drag it down from above. No, I think click out of it. Now click right on it. There, now click. Now drag. Yeah. The drop down arrow kind of causes problems in there. It kind of you kind of either are, don't click on that arrow or click on the cell, one or the other. You have to, there you go. You know, if worse comes to worse, just retype it, huh? All right, what else you got?
Here, the maintenance.
All right, now.
What are you going to call that?
I don't know if that would be miscellaneous or admin, because so many things come under admin. So
I like admin.
I did
Dump
admin.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it's small, dump it under admin.
Okay.
Yeah, admin is often a dumping ground for things, and it's a small expense, $642. It's not going to make a big deal where it is, but you should be able to type NOI. Just type NOI. Yep. Yeah. Click. Now, before you go up to D9. Click into D9. Click into D9. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Go over to the function tab up above. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Scroll up. There's stuff above that. Scroll up. I'm in the wrong place, D9. I'm too low. Scroll up all the way a little bit more. Click into D3. Sorry about that. I didn't see it. D3. There you go. Now go up to the menu and find that function key all the way to the right. Go to the menu all the way to the right. It looks like a sum, a sigma. Yeah, Greek letter sigma. One more. There. Click. Click. Sum. Top one. Good. Click. Now, drag the last 3 months. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Drag. Yes. 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 Let go. And press enter. Bingo. That's your last 3 months income. Now code it. Don't forget to code it. So A3, code it as last 3 months. Beautiful. Go back to prop 1. Oh. Okay. So not bad. Even I feel like you're not a speed demon or anything on this, but you've got an accurate coding of the T12 right now. I'm highly confident in your coding. It's as good as you can get, so I think you're on the right track here. Double click on date. Double click on the cell. There you go. Click on 10. Yep. Click on property name. Put in Schroeder, Schroeder, I think. Sounds like a German name or something. I don't know. I'm German, so I get to say that. Okay, number of units. Click on number of units. And if you didn't know, you're looking up on the OM. But yep. 97. Good. Rentable square feet. I already know it. 75,919. Here, 4A, 04A, back. There, click. Go back to rentable square feet. Not that one, down 2. Yes. There you go. Yes. 75,919. And somebody can click back and check it. I think that's it. Hit enter.
Yes, it's right.
Okay. Hit enter on that, Darnell. Oh, there you go. I see what you're doing. There you go. Now it starts to fill everything out. Now, see the pricing tool over in column T? Up to the top of column T where it says pricing tool.
Mm-hmm.
The template is filling in the revenue and the expenses. That gives us NOI. And it's dividing the NOI by that blue cap rate of 5. Because let's assume the entire nation's 5, so we need a place to start. If this were a 5 cap and their expenses and revenue are right, it would be a $13,715,000 property. But they only won, right? So you can start to play with the cap rate, like click on the 5% and make it 6. Enter. Good. See how I dropped the price to 11 million? Getting closer to 10. Go back up and make it 7. And that's where cap rate works, right? The higher the cap rate, the lower the price. Go up higher. Click on the 6. There you go. 7, enter. Good. And see how that's right near 10 million at 101,000 per door. That's nice. But we know this one's 10 million. So go back over to column H to asking price and type in 10 million. And I apologize that the template sort of leads your eye around the boat, right? You're kind of circular thinking here. Your circular thinking is, first, let me put in expenses and revenue as they have it. Then let me start to look at the cap rate and the pricing tool and see what I think it should be. And if they didn't give us any guidance, we might be pricing from the pricing tool. Since they gave us guidance, we're coming back and putting that into the asking price. And we see that you can adjust the strike and the offer, and a lot of that doesn't apply these days. Say 10 million, it's going to go for 10 or 11 anyway, right? So a lot of the template is from the old days of underwriting when it used to be a $10 million ask, and we'd say, oh, let's offer 9 million, right? The good old days. So at 10, do you see column J where it tells you exactly how much per unit?
Yeah.
Yeah, right above here. Go up a little bit, Darnell, with your mouse. Just hover over that. Type that in to the per unit price back in D6. Yes. Good. This is populating the rest of it. It's starting to fill in the loan tabs over there on the right. And now you're starting to get to the point where you can go back and start to think about, do I want to adjust my expenses to see, whether they match theirs? Are my taxes right? Now you've pretty much set this sucker up to move to sort of phase 2 of underwriting, which is you know, what do I really think the expenses are? Do I think theirs are right? Am I going to believe them for now? Am I going to go with theirs and then try, you know, am I going to try to get under contract with their expenses and then ask for documents and retrade? You know, now you start to get into the harder parts of underwriting, which is, you know, kind of based on your experience. And I think even with David's question about, you know, what are we going to put in for growth rates and growth rent, you know, now you're kind of into the magic of the whole thing, right? Of, I don't know, what can we get for this thing, right? And in this environment, who can know it? So at some point, you're putting in your mind that you're trying to track how many underwritings you've actually done. And I think you're trying to hit that 100 mark. You're trying to get your, it's an imaginary certificate. I don't have a real one, but you're trying to get your 100 underwriting certificate. And that's where your brain has seen 100 properties. Did you read that Kiyosaki book, Why the Rich Get Richer? He took a real estate class and his assignment was to look up 100 properties and write a paragraph on each one. And he knew by the end of the 100 paragraphs, he knew sort of, he had a feel for the market, a feel for pricing, a feel for the terms. He had a feel for things. And that can only come sort of with your practice of underwriting, right? So you really are trying to set a number for yourself in the goal on the schedule. And if it's 2 underwritings, you're trying to do 2. Now, Darnell, your speed wise, could you do one of these in 30 minutes? Because I think on the phone right now, we've done it in maybe 15 or 20. Can you do it on your own in 30?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, and maybe, Charmaine, it takes you an hour to do your first one or 2 hours. I don't know what it is, right? But for all of us, we spent, and I remember my first underwriting, I think I spent 3 weeks on it. You know, I couldn't figure out where any number was coming from. I couldn't understand the T12. I just was so blown away by the complexity of it. It really took me 3 weeks. And it is what it is. You can't let that frustrate you. The 3 weeks for your first one doesn't have any bearing on the 100th one. You'll be doing it in 15 minutes. There's just no way around it. If you're going to do 100, and on some level, even if you're the calling broker person, doing 100 underwritings gives you that lingo. It gives you, that's to me the number one way, like you guys were just mentioning, you want to use the proper lingo on the phone with the broker. You want to ask underwriting questions of the broker. That is the number one way to get them to talk to you and believe you're a real buyer, because real buyers underwrite. And if you start talking about, if you tell them I've underwritten the property and I have a few questions, trust me, you've got their ear. They do not, they call back people that ask those questions. And when you call and leave a message, you say, you know, my name's Charmaine, I'm underwriting the property. We're looking to buy something of this size, but I have some questions about the underwriting. When I plugged the model in, I had some questions about the expenses and possible other issues. Do you think you can call me back, right? So sort of the more specific you are, even in that message, the more likely you're the one to get the call back, and somebody who isn't specific isn't getting that call back. All right. I think we're, oh, we got to, let's see. Oh, cancel. Let's see. I think we're ready to roll, right? I should stop this.
Well, mine